So what other functionalities we are going to cover? So the agenda: land use management, virtual real estate management. Then comes your room reservation and long-term sitting arrangement, service charges, outgoing sales-based rent, third-party management, archival process. So we'll try to cover as much as possible today. Okay. So to begin with, the very first thing which we have is land use management. So what does land use management means? So ideally, land use management caters to such kind of requirement wherein a business want their particular object, rental object, or their particular property to be a replica, of public view or general view. Let's say we have publicly available maps, okay, and you want to map your particular land or property accordingly. So when I say accordingly, that means let's say there are around 10 plots, 10 open lands are there within a municipality map. Now, out of 10, you are owning around 3 to 4 of those map, like those plot. So ideally, the municipality will be having a map of all the 10 plots, not just yours, right? And it is also required if you're managing, you can also, not required, it is also possible that you can manage those particular property of yours as per the requirement, like as per the municipality requirement. So what you can do in this case is you can manage your land hierarchy, land register, the land use intended and actual. When I say intended and actual is like, let's say if it is non-agriculture, agriculture land, what purpose it is, then these all things can be managed through land use management. So if you remember, while creating property the other day, we had created municipality key, we had created neighborhood, if you remember all of this. So this is what how it like maps your particular property. Okay. Apart from that, if you also want to integrate it as per the mapping, you can do that. So land use management in flexible real estate management integrates your company internal view with the public and legal view of land management. You can depict land register parcel and other public registers, link to other master data objects, set up contracts and run reports. Okay. So land hierarchy, land register, land use, intended and actual contract, information system. Information system is nothing, again, it's a report. So this is how you can map your land. Land usage can be linked to your GIS system. So as I mentioned, if you want to integrate it with any of your third-party system, AutoCAD or any of the publicly used inform maps, then you can do that as well. Okay, using this particular functionality within architectural object. Okay, virtual real estate management map navigator using SAP Geo Explorer. So this is how you can navigate your particular property using Explorer. Okay. Now you have a 3D module available, blueprint available of your property. When I say 3D module, as in you can see a picture that is how many floors are stories are there, how exactly the structure is, what all things are added to your terrace, how many slabs are there. These all things can be also integrated with your land use management or your through your architectural object. Okay, if the requirement is there that your particular architectural object has to be activated, so this is how it will show up. Can you see over here architectural object building? So building has been created using architectural object. Under building, what we can do is now we can create multiple rental objects. It can be your floor, it can be your area within a floor, or it can be 2 floors and 2 floors, something like this. So based on the business requirement, you can segregate that. Okay. Now coming to room reservations and long-term sitting arrangements. Room reservation and long-term sitting arrangement. So when I say room reservation and long-term sitting arrangement, so we do have a functionality wherein we can using SAP REFX. Are you guys aware when we are in office, let's say in TCS, if you want to conduct any kind of meeting, so you need to book a meeting room, right? So what exactly you're doing is you are also reserving your meeting room. So that is how you can also like book your rooms using SAP REFX. Okay, this component can be optimize your internal room and space management. The component provide transparency for the process of reserving and tracking occupancy of your real estate objects and allows you to allocate the resulting cost in controlling. The following functions are available when you use this component. Room reservation, one of the example I gave is conference planning. If you are booking a conference room, you can do that. Services, if you want to book any of the services, let's say mineral water, I need mineral water to be delivered at my place by my service. Like if I am staying in a service apartment and I want these all things to be available every day, then I can book all of these facilities as well. So while booking a hotel, if you remember, we you do have some extra add-ons available. Let's say, would you like to have meal, breakfast, lunch, dinner, right? You can add those things as well while booking a hotel. Simultaneously, over here as well, when you can book while booking, you can also add this kind of services. Okay. Now coming to next point, workstation occupancy planning, long-term sitting arrangement and move planning. Okay, long-term sitting arrangement and move planning is nothing. If you are booking of any of the place for long terms, that is for more than XYZ period, which is not usual for the business, then it will be considered as long-term sitting arrangement. Okay, workstation planning. Let's say let's say there is no particular rental object which are being created as a pool space. Okay, and under pool space, workstation has been unit of workstation have been created as pool space. Now out of those particular XYZ, let's say 200 workstations have been created. Now out of 200, how many of them have been occupied? We can plan that as well. Let's say 200 have out of 200, 160 have been occupied. Okay, so 40 are remaining. So that is how we can plan our workstation. Then apart from that 160, let's say 2 or 3 employees have resigned or 10 employees have resigned. Okay, now occupancy planning. Occupancy planning as in those 10 employees which have resigned, who have resigned from the organization. So in coming days, let's say in a week, their last working day with the organization is in a week. So those 10 workstation also will get vacant, right? The occupancy, they will be available for occupancy, right? So that is how you can also plan your occupancy based on how exactly or what is the tenure given over here. Okay, so apart from that, you can also do room reservation using your architectural object. If you see over here, this is nothing but your architectural object have been assigned to your rental object. So you can see how the sitting arrangements are like over here. If you see, it's kind of U, then it is parallel. These lanes are parallel to each other. These lanes are also parallel to each other. So this is how you can plan. So over here you can see two blue, as in if you zoom in, it you will be able to see what does these two room means by, and what are these two yellow room defining. Okay, that is how you can identify, and you can also book using this particular occupancy. Okay, now if you see no occupant, so these two yellow area are no occupant, and full occupancy, it says full occupancy for brown. So this particular section is totally fully occupied. Okay, that is how it is displayed in your architectural view. Now service charge outgoing. What does service charge outgoing means? service charges or outgoing?
For example, gym and biking facilities.
Mm-hmm. So what does that mean?
Means whatever the service that we are offering apart from the space that can be charged additionally.
Yes, you can. Anything apart from that? Okay. So what the service charge mean is, let's say in a mall there is a food court area. Okay. So that particular food court area has a sitting arrangement. Now that sitting arrangement is not specified to any of the outlet or vendor, right? There might be McDonald's, there might be Haldiram, then it might be your KFC, other all vendors can be there, right? Now, when particular, let's say a particular mall owner charges, because a mall owner has to incur some charges, cost, right? That is cleaning. When we bring any kind of McDonald, let's say I have brought a Happy Meal. So, do you remember McDonald provides you a plastic plate? A plate is there. On that plate, McDonald's put across your meal, and then you take it away. Okay. Now that particular plates need to be clean. Then wherever you're sitting, if you have linder around, then a particular staff or a labor will come and clean it across. Then maintenance, water maintenance are there, electricity maintenance are there, right? So what do you think? These all things will be incurred by a mall owner. So these all costs are pertaining to mall owner or the particular outlets which have been assigned to food court. So ideally, it has been all these costs are being borne by outlets, but initially it has to be paid by the mall owner. So what happens is, the owner of the mall, they record this particular cost on their in their books, and at the end of the month they settle it. So all the service charges, let's say like water, electricity, labor cost, maintenance, anything that has come across, what they are going to do is they are going to split that cost based on the area that has been occupied by each individual outlet. Okay, so let's say KFC has been working in 200 square feet, and Domino's has been working into 400. So based on how much the utilization or how much the space they have acquired, based on that, it will be charged to them. Okay, at the end of month, all the settlement of your service charge related contracts need to be done, and those particular. And also, if you remember yesterday, Pradeep had a question. It was Pradeep or Kushagra had a question that why do we use periodic posting plus transfer? Do you remember? Then I said that all these costs need to be transferred to your rental object. So that is how your service charge will also be transferred when we use a periodic posting plus transfer at a rewrap level. That is how your posting will also transfer. Okay, it is nothing but distribution of your cost. So you're distributing cost among your rental object. So let's say if you have occurred 1 lakh rupees of electricity bill, water bill for that month, and there are around 3 vendors that needs to be splitted equally, then what you will do is you will create a rental participation group. In those participation group, you will be assigning all these three of the rental object, and that participation group will be assigned to settlement unit. And in that settlement unit, you will be having your service charge key, you'll be having your cost collector, and again your participation group. So whenever you will be posting a financial document, you have to use your service charge key, and settlement unit needs to be assigned to your financial document. And once it is been posted, your financial document get posted, then you need to run the settlement unit settlement transaction. Okay, so that is how it works. Okay, any questions as of now? So if you see over here, service charges flow purchase order, it can be through purchase order, it can be through invoices, specify rental. There can be a basic rental. Apart from that, whatever service charges, like again, as I gave you an example, KFC, Domino's, and Haldiram. So apart from service charges, they have to pay a basic rent as well, right? So this is your basic rent, and these are your service charges. So your basic rent will be having condition purpose as actual rent, wherein your service charges will be having your condition purpose as sales based rent. Okay, sales based scenario. That is how your service charge will get triggered. Again, if you the example which I gave you, under one business entity, it can be under one business entity or building or rental object. Not rental object, it can be under one business entity and building. So ideally, you are splitting your cost between rental object. So you can split your cost for cleaning, power, rates. Rates is nothing like anything that has been incurred. Services, participation and settlement. It all goes to your cost collector. So in participation settlement unit, when we create a settlement unit, so we assign our participation group, we assign the cost collector, and we also assign the service charge key. Okay, that is how it gets triggered. Now we have a second scenario wherein it is sales based rent. Can someone tell me what does sales based rent mean? Can someone tell me what is sales based scenario? So ideally in sales based scenario, what we do is there might be an agreement. Okay. If you travel from Pune to Mumbai, there is an expressway. Okay. With in that expressway, there are some food courts are there, food hubs are there, and multiple outlets are there in those food hubs. Now that food hub owner has a contract wherein it says that you need to pay a basic rent amount. Again, I'll take the same example of Domino's. Domino's outlet is there, or Burger King outlet is there. Now Burger King outlet has an agreement that it needs to pay a certain amount of basic rent, let's say 1 lakh rupees as a basic rent. And once on a monthly basis, once it has surpassed XYZ amount of sale, that is consider like 1 crore rupees of sale, or 2000 units of sale. It can be in amount as well as in units. Okay. So if you have surpassed that particular threshold, then a certain percentage needs to be shared. So it can be XY, like a particular amount can be there, or a percentage can be there. So let's say if the agreement was like, if you surpass 1 crore rupees of sale on a monthly basis, on and above whatever sale you are doing, you need to pay 10%. So I have done a sale of 21 crore 20 lakh. Now on 20 lakhs, I am paying 1 lakh as a basic rent. And now on 20 lakh, what I need to do is I also need to pay 10% of that 20 lakh as a sales based agreement. So how much will be 10% of that? 2 lakh. So 1 lakh plus 2 lakh, that is how my particular rental income will be there for that particular month. Okay.
So you mean to say, like, talking about franchisee cost, like in sometimes we take a franchisee, for example, Domino's. So they will take some 1%, 2% from the sales
Correct.
turnover.
Yes. Yes. So that is how it can be franchisee cost, it can be royalty income.
Royalty income, yes.
Okay.
Okay.
So it is nothing but royalty income will only come into place when your sales happens, right? As much of your sales happens, as much of royalty will be earned. So that is how it also works over here. These components provides a function for setting sales-based rent agreement in real estate contract based on the sales report of commercial tenants. Sales-based settlement consists of the following steps. You create a real estate contract with the appropriate sales-based rent conditions. In this contract, you define one or more sales-based rent agreements with valid reporting rules and sales rule. You then assign the sales rule to condition. You enter the sales report either for individual contract or as collective entry for multiple contracts. You enter the sales report as in you upload the sales report. Unless and until we do not upload the sales report, how exactly system will define what is the total sales? That is how it calculates. You calculate the sales based rent and post it in financial accounting. So you already have your sales based rent condition type available in your contract. Now, once you upload the sales report, it will calculate the particular financial postings, how much the posting needs to be done for that particular period. Okay. So your uploading of sales based report or sales report frequency. So it depends totally on business. What should be the frequency? Whether it will be monthly, weekly, daily, bi-weekly. That that is something we can also configure. Okay. Then we have third-party management. What does third-party management means? Let's say I am in Goa and there are multiple Airbnb being owned by one owner. Now it is not necessary that the owner will be managing those property in Goa, right? There might be a real estate manager who might be managing this property. Okay, so that is called third party management. So for that particular real estate manager, we'll be creating contracts, and we can also manage who is the real estate manager, how many property he has been managing, what all components are there, what all attributes are there, and how exactly his part and how exactly he's involved in our earning. Okay, that can also be defined. Using this component, you can manage real estate objects that are owned by others. The real estate manager receives the mandate for actual owner of the actual owner, providing the legal basis for managing the owner's property. Each mandate that is granted by an owner has its own dependent real object and processes. These are represented in the system in a separate company code for each mandate. The mandate company code thereby provides the basis of separation of asset between the owner and the manager and supports the creation of separate financial statement. The specialized type of third-party management is acting on behalf of condominium owners association. So if you remember, while creating basic setting for company code, there was standard company code, mandate company code, owner company code. So this is how you maintain mandate company code, wherein you want to activate the third party manager. Okay. So archival processes, how exactly you can archive your objects. Data archiving removes data from the production system that is no longer required and place it into archive files that can be accessed and analyzed at a later date. We have different archival objects which comes under SAP Real Estate. Few of them listed below. So for architecture object, it is REFX underscore AO. For business entity, it is REFX underscore BE. Building, it is REFX underscore BU. Property, it is REFX underscore PR. Rental object, it is REFX underscore RO. Contract, it is REFX underscore CN. And parcel of land, it will be REFX underscore PL. So these are your archiving object within REFX. Okay. Archival process. We also have archival object which comes under SAP FI integration with real estate object, SAP real estate. So these are the business object. Like for vendor transaction figures, we use FI underscore TF underscore CRE. For customer, it is FI underscore TF underscore DEB. For GL account transactions, it is FI underscore TF underscore GLC. And for like GL transaction figures which are new, if it will be FI underscore TF underscore GLF. F is for new, C is for old. SAP business partner will be CA underscore BUPA. Vendor master, it will be FI underscore ACC and PAYB. And for customer master data, it will be FI underscore ACC RECB. So these are for particularly FI integrated objects. How exactly your archival process flows? Okay, we need to follow below process for complete archival process. First of all, we need to mark the deletion flag, set deletion indicator, pre-processing program, then archive data write program, and then delete data deletion program. After archiving, if you want to delete it, you can delete it as well. Okay. So this is all overall it will be in other functionality of REFX. So what all we covered in the other functionality of REFX is we have covered land and land use management, virtual real estate management, room reservations and long-term sitting arrangement, service charge outgoing, sales-based rent, third party, and archival process. So these all things we have covered under other functionality.
Yeah, sales based
Minimum,
and
maximum sales, or and if you scroll down, it will be normal sales also will be there. So this is how you will, while defining your condition type, you can also define the attributes of this as well. Okay. So let's say you go to this particular, yeah, over here. Can you see service charge settlement is there, sales based rent is there, sales based rent AP is there. So these all types are there. So if you go to Reka Cust, can you go to Reka Cust? Go to conditions and flow. No. Close both of these nodes. Yeah. Condition type and condition grouping. Okay, define condition type. Double click on any of the condition type. Now in attributes, can you see attributes? Yeah, over here you can define this. So maintenance revenue, maintenance reserve, sales based. Can you see this last one is sales based, minimum sales based, maximum sales based, maintenance reserve, advance payment is there, AP sales based rent is there. Okay, this is all how you can define. Okay,
just
you
wanted
can go back.
Pranav, I do have a question, Delicious. So, does it affect how we account for it or use the condition?
Yes, it does affect. That's why we have to maintain it in a sales base. If you are using a normal actual rent, if you can you click on attribute again, yeah, can you see base fees is there, flat rate is there. If you select base fee or flat rate rather than selecting sales base rent for your sales relevant contract, then system itself will throw an error, and when you run like upload the sales report, it won't identify which condition type it is. Also within, when you assign a condition in sales based agreement tab in contract, so when you are assigning the condition also, it should be a sales based relevant condition, then only it will get assigned. Okay. So that is how you are activating all of this functionality to perform.
Okay. So in the contract, we will add the condition as we add the normal conditions.
Correct. Can you go back to your contract screen? Okay. Can you go to general data tab? Scroll down. Okay. Stop over here. Can you see this particular checkbox box is there relevant to sales? Now above, if you see, there is no sales based agreement tab is activated. When you click on this checkbox, now if you click on this checkbox, see, sales based rent agreement tab has been activated. Can you see third last? Yes, over here. Now over here you need to assign your sales rule and your reporting rule. So if you click on add sales rule, okay, can you see over here, if we want to add any of the, again below you need to add. Can you add on that? No, below sales rule type, below that there's an add icon is there below, second half of the screen.
Yeah, yeah.
What is the error? Okay, reporting rule, click on drop down reporting rule. It should be 10. Close that. No. Drop down. I mean to say there's a drop down, right?
Yeah, yes.
Can you
Means
say
you.
no? Just a second. Let me see if I can get the control. The one where you added the whole line item which you added, there's a drop down below that. Below that, can you see a drop down is there? Blank drop down. Yeah, below that to the right. Down arrow is there, no? Black down arrow
Yeah,
is there.
okay.
Yeah, this one.
You're
Yeah.
saying, yeah, this.
Yeah, this one. So over here, what you will be doing is once you assign the reporting rule, no, the reporting rule will get assigned over here. Now, if you go on condition tabs within sales-based agreement only, within sales-based
Okay,
agreement,
condition type. Yeah.
yes, over here. Now try to add any of the condition. Now, what should you select over here? Tell me.
Sales based. No, we can. Sales
Okay,
based rent, I
which one?
think we can.
Okay, you can select that one. Valid from and valid to date will be there. Now over here you are defining how exactly it should be. What will be the minimum amount? What should be your unit price? Okay, can you see below in below screen? If you scroll, yeah, fixed amount is there. Click on drop down. Fixed amount, and can you scroll across? Percentage share in condition is there, source condition is there, amount per object is there. No, I'm just
Okay.
letting you know how exactly you can define it. Okay, fixed amount, object measurement. So based on that you can define. And if you scroll down, subletting, sales based rent, and now select sales based rent. Okay, the unit price has disappeared. When you have selected sales based rent, unit price has disappeared because it should be coming through your sales report, correct? Now
Yes.
let's say instead of running sales report, you have that particular amount, that is, this is my particular sales across and this is how I want to, this much of I want to pay. Then what you could have done is, rather than sales based formula, sales based rent, you could have selected fixed amount and you could have added 10,000 x 1,000 anything. Now if you scroll down, so formula of distribution, so there might be in a object like participation group, there might be a scenario like there might be multiple rental object, or within contract itself there might be multiple object. So how exactly you want to divide it? So it will be a divide equally only. Okay, so it should be divide equally. Now if you click on continue, so this has been added. Okay, what's the error below?
Settlement period was not entered.
Settlement period was not assigned. Can you double click on that? No, you need to go the frequency tab of this sales based rent. Can you see frequency tab is there to left of conditions? Yeah, settlement period. How exactly you want to settle it? How frequently? Monthly, quarterly? So that is what we are defining. If you click on that, yes, years, days, months, years, days will be like if you want to settle it every 15 days, then you will be defining in days. If you want to do it daily, then you will be defining it day and one. So now if you want to define it like every 1 month, you will be uploading the sales report. You can select month and in frequency one.
One, yeah.
Yeah, enter. And can you scroll up? Can you click on add again and add a reporting rule? Over here, it should also be one, right? Because you are defining that every 1 month it should be reported. Enter. Can you see frequency start, tolerance unit? So these all things will be defined if you click on tolerance unit. Business days, weeks, month. So that is like if you forgot to upload the data for one, like you have suppose selected 1 month and it has passed 1 month above, like it has been 2 days that 1 month has surpassed. So you can define that up to how many days above, like what will be your grace period for that. Okay, it is nothing but a grace period which you are defining. Okay, now scroll up please. Can you click on check button? Sales-based rule condition is needed. Sales-based condition is needed. Sales rule reporting is required. We have added that, right?
Mm.
Can you go to condition tab? You can close the below error screen. Sales-based condition has been added. Now go back to sales-based rent agreement again. Do one thing in certified sales and planned sales also you need to maintain 111. Scroll up please. Sales report, click on sales report. Can you click on
In
sales?
in condition, you have taken other condition. I think in self based, it's different. So maybe
Maybe, yeah.
No, so in
in
condition we
condition,
have two conditions. If you see, can you click on condition again? So
Yeah.
over here, if you see, there are two conditions are there. So do one thing. Let's try this way. Delete the first one, basic rent. Ideally, it should allow basic rent and this one. Now click on check button. See, it's still there. You can add that condition type again.
Yeah. Oh.
Credit basic rent, first one. And you need to assign some unit price to that. Can you close the below error screen? Yeah, now you can see the unit prices there. You can assign the unit price over there.
Yes, it is done. Yeah.
Then now go back to sales-based rent agreement. Click on over here also cumulative settlement period and final settlement 1 month each. Go to sales rule based condition is needed. Sales rule based condition. Okay, do one thing. Go to conditions of this tab. Yeah. Remove this item. You won't be able to remove it from here.
Yeah, we
Go to conditions and remove it from there.
yes.
Now go back to sales based agreement. Click on add. Select AP sales based V270. Second last.
V270. Oh, yeah.
Condition type is sales based.
Sales based rent.
Yeah.
Continue.
Sales based condition is needed. Sales based condition and only added, right?
Click on reporting rule. What are the parameters in that?
Can you click on reporting rule? Sales rule 0017 sales based condition is needed. Sales rule. Okay, now go back to sales rule. Click on calculation. Can you see below drop down is there? You can remove that one.
Should I remove this entry?
Yes.
Okay.
And click on add. There should be a drop down of 10. Yeah. Select that. Enter. Still the error is there.
Yeah, yes, still that is it.
Okay, now go to this is there, frequency is there, frequency and condition, go to condition again. If you remember, no, not that condition, sales based rent and condition.
Yeah, condition step, yeah.
Double click on that or delete this particular line item, and while adding it again, rather than selecting sales based, select it as fixed amount.
Yeah, okay. So I need to go to conditions and remove from here. Yeah.
No, do one thing, do not remove it. Okay, it got okay, fine. You could have added it from the year itself. Sales based rent, add it, and keep it fixed amount only.
Yeah, same V270 only.
V270, yes. And keep it fixed amount and enter a unit price of 500. Still it is asking, right?
Yeah, still it is asking.
I think in config something is missing. You have changed that.
Attribute you have changed it, attribute.
Yeah. So it was not maintained as sales based rent attribute. So that is why it was giving an error. So in config over here, I have changed the sales based rent. Okay. So that is now it is allowing to post. There is no error. Okay. All these are warnings. So I'll save the contract now. Okay. Changes have been saved. Now you can go over here and see. Apart from that, if you want to see on table level also, you can do that. So when you execute it on table level, so can you see sales relevant to sales. This checkbox is there. What this was the contract number, right? 07 and 07 last change, but entered by 01.
In config, there can be only a one sales-based condition, right? Not more than that.
No, that is not required. You can have multiple sales-based condition type, no?
No, but
You
in
can have
config,
more
earlier as well, we have selected the AP sales-based rent, and in that
No, no,
it
no,
was
no, no.
giving the error.
So the AP sales-based is not the relevant one. Sales-based rent is the correct when you are uploading sales-based rent. Okay, but AP sales-based you should not select it because over here the description was incorrect. Okay, but if you want to use a multiple, like if you want to create multiple sales-based rent condition type, you can create it. The difference will be you will be creating one sales-based rent condition type for, let's say, maintenance cost. One will be for your, let's say, any other parking cost. So this is how you can do it. Okay, multiple sales-based condition type can be sales-based rent condition type can be created. Apart from that, you can also, there might be a scenario. Now this one is for lease in scenario. You might also have something called for lease out, right? For that also you can use it. Okay,
Okay.
the drop down was incorrect. The AP drop down was incorrect. You need to maintain it as sales based rent only. So on sales based rent you can select multiple, like you can create multiple condition types.
So this drop down coming from somewhere, or it's standard only?
No. We are defining this. We are defining this.
So in that definition, there might be some checkbox of sales base, right?
Yes.